Okay guys, welcome back. I'm pretty sure you're very excited for the next poem. So in all of the poems, this is not necessarily my favorite one, but it's something that we have to do. Okay, so the poem is called Strelitzia. Okay, so I'm just going to read through it quickly and then we'll analyze the poem. Dit was reeds te laat vir verskoningsmaak, toe mevrou Susan van Breda, enkele sekondes nadat sy die oggend om stiptelik 7 uur met 'n lang sigaret tussen gladde naals agter die stuur van haar luukse sedan ingeskuif het. Skielik, geskok, na die linkerkant van haar simmetriese geplaveide suursteen oprit staar. Dit was reeds te laat vir verskoningsmaak. Ja, maar dalk indien sy nie so besig was om met die staar saam aan verskonings te dink nie, sou sy dadelik ten minste rede kon kom waarom haar seun haar Strelitzia's stikkens sou wou skop. Okay, so the poem is about a Strelitzia. So Strelitzia is a plant that is native to South Africa. It's a very, you can recognize the plant anywhere because it almost looks like a bird. Well, to me, it does look like a bird. So this is a Strelitzia. You can see it looks like the beak of a bird and then it has little feathers on top there. Okay, so it is a native plant. It's a plant that symbolizes stature because it's quite an expensive plant to have and it takes quite long to grow and you have to nurture it. So people who have Strelitzias are quite proud of them and for them it's a sign of status in the community. Okay, so it is a helder kleurige blom. It means it has nice colors. So that one you would have remembered has yellow, but you get orange ones as well and you get red ones as well. So they are very brightly colored. In a garden of a lot of plants, it will always stand out because it looks different. It has bright colors. You will always see Strelitzias when you look into a garden. Okay, I said to you, it is native to South Africa, inheems tot Suid-Afrika, and then the time that it flowers, the time that it blooms, is from March to October. So why do we need to know this? We want to know more or less when this poem takes place. So because her son has now destroyed her Strelitzia, we can see that we can already recognize it as a Strelitzia, so it's probably in bloom. So it's probably somewhere between March and October that this is taking place. Okay, so the title, obviously Strelitzia, that is the plant. Why Strelitzia? Okay, so to emphasize that it is about this plant. Yes, all these other things are going on in the poem itself, but it's actually about the plant and the worth of the plant and the status that the plant has. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go along. Okay, so in paragraph 1, we can see that this lady is of high stature. She's not your average mom. Okay, she drives a Lexus sedan. So Lexus means it is a posh sedan that she is driving. Her driveway is paved nice and neatly, all in sync with one another. There's not one brick out or little plants growing through it or whatever like some of our driveways are. No, it's a very nice paved driveway that she's driving. She's smoking a long cigarette, so not your normal bud that she's smoking, a long thin cigarette, which also tells us that she is quite wealthy and well looked after. Her nails are done, gladde nails means smooth nails, so nails are done properly and she is very fancy. And if you take the comparison between the plant, the Strelitzia, and this woman, you can almost bring them together because Strelitzia is also a very classical plant. It's long, it's beautiful, it's well looked after when it blooms. So her and the Strelitzia are pretty much the same thing, the same stature that they have. Okay, so if we look at the first line, it says, dit was reeds te laat vir verskoningsmaak. Okay, so verskonings are excuses. Okay, so it was too late to make excuses. It hadn't already happened. Because you know, some moms, especially in these high-end places, make excuses for their children when they do something wrong. They don't want to accept that their children has just done something wrong. They are naughty. No, there's a reason for it. So before she could even figure out a reason as to why her child would do this, it had already happened. So it was too late for excuses. There you can also see the Strelitzia, very beautiful plant. Okay, line 2 and 3. Toe mevrou Susan van Brede enkele sekondes nadat sy die oggend om stiptelik 7 uur met 'n lang sigaret tussen haar gladde naels agter die stuur van haar luxe sedan ingeskuif het. Okay, so this little line 1, 2, 2, 6 tells us a little bit about this Susan. Okay, so you will recognize that Susan and her surname van Breda is the only words in the whole poem, including the title, that is written in capital letters. Okay, yes, it is because it is a name, but the name of the poem is also Strelitzia. The name of a plant is also Strelitzia, so that would have also been written in capital letters if it was for that reason. So it's not just because it's a name, it's because she is the central part of this poem. And when we go a little bit deeper into the meaning of the poem, we can start discussing why is it written in capital letters. Okay, so, well, it's because she is the focal point of the poem. Okay, it seems like she cares so much about herself, what she looks like, what her nails look like, what car she's driving, how beautifully her paving is done, rather than to look after her son and to realize what her son is actually doing. So when you think about it, this is quite a deep poem. It plays on people who spend so much time on their own image and about creating this image for themselves and what they look like and what the community and society thinks about them, that they forget to actually just pay attention to their own children. And doing something like kicking over a flower is not a natural reaction for a child. So this is obviously a child who's looking for attention. Even if it's bad attention, we have done so many poems that deal with this, that sometimes we do things to get attention, not always in a good way, even if it's bad attention, as long as we get attention and as long as someone recognizes us. So this lady obviously does not recognize her child. She does not attend to him on a daily basis because she's so caught up. She probably has a high-end job because she has all these nice things, nice car, nice nails and so on. She probably has a high-end job and doesn't spend very much time with her child because she's at work all the time. Okay, and just like the Strelitzia, once again, that comparison to the two. She's a beautiful lady, she's well looked after, just like the Strelitzia. Also, the status of the Strelitzia stands out in a garden of other flowers, just like that woman. Probably when she enters a group of people, she stands out because she is beautiful and well looked after. Okay, so we also see the parenthetical. Aandagstreep. So the parenthetical are those little lines that begin in front of enkele and ends in line 6 after het. Okay, so this can have the same effect as hokkies. Okay, those little stripes. Hakies and the aandagstrepe are both parenthese. And we know that parenthese, once again, is there for beklemtoning. We always use the word beklemtoning. But it's to beklemtoon the extra information. It just tells us a little bit about this lady. It's not just a line that is put there for information. It's extra information about Susan van Breda. Because you can see, if you take those few lines out, and you complete the poem, it won't sound weird because that is just extra information to tell us a bit more about her. Okay. As I said, extra information, so it's there to describe the lady. That's the extra information that it is given. That line just tells us that. Okay. Now, okay, so when we get to the next line, so the third line, nadat sy die oggend stiptelik 7 uur. Okay, so she leaves her house at 7 o'clock. The fact that stiptelik is there, stiptelik means exactly at 7 o'clock. We can see that this is something that happens all the time. She leaves at 7 o'clock. She's not just a beautiful lady with all these beautiful and expensive stuff. She's also very punctual, as is businesswomen. They are punctual because of meetings, because of those type of things. So it tells us that she's precise about what she is doing. And she probably brings up her child in more or less the same thing. Line 4. Met 'n lang sigaret. Okay? A long cigarette in her hand. Okay? We know it's not just the short little butt that she's squeaking. It's those long, thin cigarettes that, well, back in the day, not today so much anymore, but back in the day, this also symbolized status. A lady with a long cigarette was of high status. Okay. Line 5. Tussen gladde naels agter die stuur. Okay. So with nice polished nails, not funny yellow nails like when you are a bad smoker, no. Nice polished nails, and you can see it's painted, long, agter die stuur. Stuur means behind the steering wheel. Okay, so she's behind the steering wheel looking very glamorous. Okay, line 6. Vir haar luxe sedan ingeskuif het. Okay, luxe sedan once again is a very status-like car, a mommy car, the sedan, but it's not any sedan, it's a very posh sedan that she is moving into, a very expensive sedan. Okay, skielik geskok. So we can see those two lines, one word each. What do we call that? Alleenplasing. So it's one word in each line. So that is for emphasis once again, beklemtoning. Okay. And it almost gets with the rhythm of the poem. Skielik geskok. Okay. So it's like skielik means all of a sudden. So that's why it's also known all of a sudden. Skielik. And then what do you feel? You feel a little bit anxious. Geskok. Okay. So skielik means something had taken away her focus. Okay. Vat haar aandag weg. Something has taken away her focus. So obviously in her peripheral vision, she saw, oh, something is happening here. And then when she realizes what it is, she feels anxious. Geskok. Okay. So, line 9 and 10. Na die linkerkant van haar symmetriese. Okay, so she's looking to the left-hand side of where she is sitting. Okay, so she's sitting in the car. She looks to her left-hand side, and there she sees something happen all of a sudden, and she gets a fright. But they also have to emphasize her symmetric driveway. Okay, not just she's looking there and seeing this is going on. No, what is even more important than that? Her symmetric driveway that is paved perfectly. Geplaveide suursteen oprit straat. Okay, So geplaveide means that it is paved. Siersteen are those bricks that are made out of concrete, but they're very fancy. They're all the same color. Okay, so it's those type of bricks, and it also has a little bit of an incline. And well, you guys have obviously been to quite wealthy homes, and you can see the driveway that goes up like that. It's not just a normal driveway that we have at home. Okay, so it also emphasizes once again that, and you can almost say that that is also extra information that is put there. It's not put in a parenthesis, but all this extra information is just to highlight that this is not just any type of home, it's about the effect that this home has. Okay, then we get to part 2. Part 2, yeah, it says to us now, okay, what had happened? What did she see in her hindsight? What happened that shook her up so much? Okay, and there we see the little boy kicking over this pristine flower. And for those of you who have parents who are very pedantic about their flowers would know what a big thing this is. Okay, next line. Dit was reeds te laat vir verskoningsmaak. Okay, so it was already too late to make excuses. It had already happened. She didn't even see her son walking to the plants, going to do something. No, she only realized that he was there when it was already done. Ja, maar dalk. So all those words that stand alone is part of excuses. You know, you start an excuse whenever you did something wrong. You say, yes, but maybe. Those are all words that start an excuse. So that's why they're alone. That's why they are there. They're there to highlight the excuses that might come up. Line 15. Indien sy nie so besig was om met die staarsaam. Okay. So maybe if she wasn't so busy looking after herself, making herself look beautiful, admiring her nice driveway, she would have realized that her son is actually messing up her garden. Okay. Next line, line 17. Aan verskonings te dink. Okay, so maybe if she wasn't thinking about excuses for her son, she could have stopped him before he actually did it. Okay, so sy dalk ten minste rede kon koop. Okay, maybe she would have understood why her son is doing it, because this poem obviously has an event that happened before this. Okay, so we know in the morning it takes a lot to actually get into the car, to go to school, to get ready. We know in every household this is quite a mission. So obviously there was an event that happened before this poem. So we could maybe say, because of the tone of the poem, that the mom and the son had some sort of fight. Okay, so there was an event that happened. He didn't want to dress in this. She wanted him to dress in this. He didn't want to do this. And she didn't want to listen to him because she's too concerned about what she looks like, what society thinks of her, that she didn't pay attention to him. So had she just stopped for a while, paid attention to what his needs are, this could have been avoided. Okay. Waarom haar seun, haar Strelitzia, stikkend wou skop. Okay. So wou tells us that he wanted to do it, but he hadn't done it yet. So wou skop. Why did he want to do this? Okay, so he intentionally wanted to do this. It's not like he was walking there, kicking a can, and then accidentally it happened. He wanted to kick over the Strelitzia. He wanted to, and probably this is the nicest flower in the garden. And he's just fed up, and now he kicks it over because he doesn't get the attention that he needs. Okay. Okay, so what life lessons do we learn from this? Okay. If you emotionally abandon a child. You always have to pay attention to them emotionally. And you guys probably have felt like this as well at home, where you do these great things, you succeed in school, you get good marks, you play sport, you do well in that, but you don't get recognized. Your parents always just kind of like, yeah, that's nice. You should have done that. Yeah, you could have done better even than 95% or whatever the case may be. Parents don't always realize what that does to a child. They think that because you are achieving all these things, you are happy. And that is not. Achievement does not make you happy. It contributes to making you happy, but you need the love and attention as well. As I explained to you earlier, the Strelitzia is an example or symbolism of the mom. This person who stands out, this person who looks beautiful, who has a lot of status in society. That is the mom. But she is not even though she looks organized, she looks like she has everything in control, she is abandoning the one thing that actually makes her happy or should make her happy. And that's why the son is being rebellious against it. Okay guys, so that is pretty much the poem. Not too difficult, but you have to see the figurative and the literal meaning to the poem, especially the Strelitzia. You have to see the comparison between the mom and the Strelitzia. You have to see the symbolism behind everything that is highlighted, all this extra information, and then obviously why the son had done what he had done. Thank you guys. Please go and do the questions now, and then we'll go through the answers. Cool. Have a nice day.